Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. You're welcome to another episode of the Introverts Guide to Content Creation. So today I have a guest, and my guest is someone that I have been having a conversation with. I know it's the Introverts Guide to Content Creation. However, we have our very first extrovert, but don't worry, we're not just going to focus on her being an extrovert. We're going to get to know her a little bit better, understand what she does, and a company that helps tourism entrepreneurs build visibility and sustainability for their tourism businesses through online programs and digital marketing. And she has won quite a few awards, and there's a recent one she won with Goge. She got nominated for with Goge Africa. But we'll be having a conversation with her to talk about her hobbies and a couple of other things. I will see if she's back on screen because it seems we had a little disconnection. Nina, can you hear me? I think she has
I
been.
can hear you, but I can't see you.
Yeah,
Okay, I can see you, but I can't see. It's a bit blurry.
yeah, it's a bit blurry. You're also
I don't know why.
blurry. I don't know why. It just got blurry a bit. But let's see. Let me see if I bring you back on screen. We can't see you at all.
Okay.
We can't see you
Well,
at all.
I'm
It's
seeing you.
totally
I'm seeing your
blurry.
pretty self,
I
but
think I'll take a screenshot
mine
and
is
send you
blurry.
what we can see because it's completely blurry. We can't see you at all. I don't know
I
if it's
don't
a
know what happened.
connection problem or what it is, but let's see if we can get you back on screen because I could see you perfectly before we got
Before we
started,
go, yeah, I know.
and then all of a sudden
It
we
was when
can't.
you went on online. It just went. I just went blurry. So I can see you, but myself, I'm not.
I'm not there at all. I can't see you at all. All right, let's see what we can do to rectify that. Just give me a second. If we're going to have to try and connect with another platform, it's still the same.
Okay. Wow.
We do apologize for this. We're just trying to see how we can get Nina back on screen. Should we try this? Do you want to call back in, and then we'll see if that will
All
work?
right. Let me do that.
Yes, let's see if that will work. If you call back in, maybe that will work. All right.
All right.
I apologize for that, but we will get back to Nina in a bit. I'm just going to have our call back, and then we will get started. Or we'll continue the conversation. But I chose Nina for a couple of reasons. I think the first one being that she is someone that is thriving where she is. Because even if it's the introvert's guide to content creation, we try and look for people that are creating impact where they are, where they've created a niche for themselves. And I've kind of I would say being intentional about what they do, and she falls into all these categories. The only thing that will make her stand out amongst all of us is that she is an extrovert. So we'll see a few things we could learn from her, how we can thrive in an extroverted world, tips she could give us. Well, I think my focus today is mostly going to be on how you can survive in an industry that is dying, that everybody feels will be non existent, but you go in there and create a niche for yourself, connect with people in that industry, and become recognized for the good works that you're doing. So basically, that's what we're going to be having a conversation on. How she got into tourism, what she does with postcards, because I received a postcard from her from Nigeria, and I was shocked because she collects postcards. She got featured in Forbes recently for her postcard collection. So there's quite a lot we can learn from this lovely, interesting lady. Hopefully, the connection gets better. But not to worry, we're going to edit this out at the end of the day, the parts that are not connected. But the fact that you are live, you can see us. So if you're watching, okay, Gene, thank you so much for joining us. Let us know you're watching, and then we will say hello. Okay. If we don't get to connect via Skype, we'll probably connect via Zoom. At least we have other options of how we could connect with Nina. If you're an introvert, do you have questions for extroverts? This is an opportunity to put an extrovert on the spot. I have a couple of questions I would love to ask her, and I'm sure you do also. I'm so sorry. The weather is hot, but I'm having a cold. Anyway, we're going to get back to it. What I would do is I'm just going to put a timer on for 5 minutes. Try to see if we could get another connection running, and then we'll get started.
Can you see me now?
Yes, I can see you. 1 second. Let me see if I can see you on. Um, I think 1 second. Yes, it's perfect. Hello, Nena. Hello.
What happened?
You're back.
You just went
Okay.
mute for my.
Yeah, you're back. All right, so we're going to go back live. Don't worry, we'll edit all this out, so that's fine. It can be
Oh,
edited. We'll just edit all this out, and I'll do the intro again. We have just one person listening. All right,
okay.
give me a few seconds, and yes, you're on screen now. Perfect. All right, so we are beginning the show in. We're restarting, so all of you that are watching live get to see behind the scenes and everything that works and what doesn't work. So that's perfect for me. The good thing about live shows is that everybody gets to see everything. But we'll be back in. I said 4 minutes, but in less than 4 minutes, in like 30 seconds, we're going to go back live on screen, and then I will reintroduce my guest. We get
Mm.
started, and then we have the conversation.
Ah, finally.
Finally.
I was trying to see if I could log in through my laptop. I don't know. I was having issues
Okay, so did you
because of
log
the
into your
internet.
laptop finally? All right.
Yes, I finally did. It's
Oh,
not working now that my mic.
awesome. So we're going to start in a couple of seconds, and I'll let you know once we're started. So, Messi, thank you for staying with us while we're doing all this. But you and I know the drill. We are going to edit this out, and I'm going to let you do the editing this time, Messi. All right. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. So today, on today's episode of the Introverts Guide to Content Creation, I have my very first extrovert. Her name is Nena, but she's popularly known as Ajala Nene because she works in the tourism sector in Nigeria. I remember telling someone that I have a friend that works in the tourism sector. She's like, how do they thrive in Nigeria? So we're going to discuss with her how she started becoming a tourism promoter, a tourism business coach, and how she founded the Nene-Uwa Hub Ltd. She is passionate about helping others get into this industry, and this has won her quite a few awards. But I think I will let her tell her story by herself. So, welcome on board, Nena. Hi, Nena. How are you?
Thank you. Okay, I'm fine. Hello, everybody. Ekabo. Keduo. All the greetings in the world.
All the greetings. A cowboy. I mean, like, your Nigerian languages do you speak?
My dear sister, not only the Igbo that I know,
Oh,
the Yoruba I'm still learning small. The Hausa, Nana.
so you're welcome. I've told people a little bit about you, but I would like you to tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got into the tourism industry.
Okay. So everybody, hi. My name is Nnenna Fakoya-Smith, but people know me as Ajala Nene because I like to travel around the world. So, my story is when I was very young, I used to travel a lot because my dad not really travel that much, but we moved because of his job. So I always liked that, learning about people's culture, learning about tourism. I wouldn't call it tourism then; it was more of culture, way of life. It was just something I was fascinated about. So fast forward to university, I studied sociology, and we needed to do our final year project. Everybody else was doing something on women, children, the normal sociological issues.
Yeah.
And I just thought I wanted to do something different. So lo and behold, I was having my shower one morning, and I had an eureka moment. Somebody shouted, "Hawaii tourism!" I was like, "Oh my goodness, that's true. We can do tourism in Nigeria, but I've not heard anything about tourism in Nigeria before." So I went to the library and I read about Hawaii and how tourism is what helps their GDP grow. So I was like, okay, fine, let me check out about Nigeria. And unfortunately, there are no records about tourism in the library. But fortunately for me, one of my very good friends, who you know, DK, Queen Anne's friend Echo,
Okay.
her mom actually did have tourism. She did have project on tourism. So
Okay.
she gave me a copy of her project, which was very helpful.
Wow.
And I got to see that not just one, not just two, but every state in Nigeria, all 36 states, have more than one or two tourist sites. And I was like, why are we not utilizing this in Nigeria? So that's how I said, okay, fine, I was going to do my project on it. So my project was tourism development in Nigeria, the connection, how does development and tourism come together. And it was an amazing project. I saw the potentials of tourism in Nigeria. So I was like, okay, fine. I like to venture into that. So that's how the idea came in. And with my love for tourism and culture and studying sociology, it all blended. It just all made sense. So I was fortunate enough to work in a tour operating company for my NYSC, and I saw the back end of how tourism works as a business. After NYSC, they retained me, but I got a job in an oil company, and I was looking for money because I wanted to go do my master's. So I went to the oil industry, but after staying there for like 8 years, the tourism was just calling me, Nena, come back, we need you. And after a while, I decided to start my own business, Nene-Uwa Hub Ltd, where I can help tourism operators in Nigeria at least promote the packages they were selling. People were selling a lot of tourist packages in Nigeria that people didn't even know existed. Even me, that I thought I knew, I found that there are so many other places I didn't know of. So my job was to help them create visibility for their tour packages.
Okay.
But as I grew, I found out people didn't even know the business behind tourism. So I decided to venture into how to help people create visibility and create a sustainable business with tourism because it's vague, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a way you can make it a business that it makes sense and you start making sustainable income. So that's my story in a nutshell.
Awesome. I think when I found out you were into tourism, there were two. I can vividly remember two different incidents. The one was when you cleaned the beach, and you organized. I don't know. Can you share that story with us when you were talking about sustainability and the fact that, oh, I don't, was it Bar Beach or what beach did you go and clean when you talked about the beach?
It was
Oh, Badag.
Badagry Beach.
Okay,
So we went to
all the way.
yeah. So yes, dear, all the way. So 2017. So I celebrate World Tourism. World Tourism Day happens on the 27th of September every year. So fortunately for me, that was the year I was launching my business, and I wanted to do something that had to relate with sustainability and tourism. And luckily for us, that year the theme was sustainability in the tourism space. So as much as I believe in sustainability, when you look at it in the tourism space, it has to do with your environment,
Mm-hmm.
the culture, people, and of life.
That's
So the idea was for tourism to see our environment as what gives us that money, that creates the money that tourism needs. So I decided to partner with some of my tourism people, like Fumi Oyatogo of TVP Adventure. She's an environmentalist and a tourism and a tour operator. So we work together, and then we helped to coordinate people who are also environmentalists and tourist enthusiasts,
okay.
where we came together to go clean the beach in Badagry and build them and plant trees, coconut trees over there too. So it's a way of just helping the environment look cleaner and also encourage the growth of trees and all that.
Awesome. And that was 2017. But all this time, were you still because
Yes, ma'am.
you used to talk about tours and stuff, even if you were working? Because I thought you were still working for the tourism sector. I did not know you were working in an oil company. So were you doing this part time, or you pushed
So
this aside completely?
I had pushed it aside completely because, to be very honest, the tourism space, especially then, there was no money making. And unless you knew a lot of tour operators you could work with,
Mm-hmm.
it was it wasn't there was no I don't know what to, it wasn't sustainable.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So for me, when I started, I like I said, I wanted to go and do my masters, and I found out that the tourism space wasn't really giving me the money I needed to make that money to go to school. So when I got that oil job, I just put the tourism aside. I said, okay, let me at least build myself, make money, and then whatever happens, come. But you know how it is when you're making money and life happens and you just forget your dreams to push it aside. But the beautiful thing was that even though I pushed it aside as a business and a career and everything, I was still involved. Like if I'm traveling, I'll write it on my travel blog. If I had people in my office knew me as a travel person. If you want to travel, go to Nene. She will tell you what to do. She'll connect you with the people. So it was something I was doing, but I never that 8 years I was still in the oil, I didn't take it as a business because I wasn't really a business oriented person.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, okay, it's a hobby. I like it. Let me just, anyone I need, hey, okay, I know these people that can give you this tour based on your budget. Oh, go to this person. Anytime I travel, I share my experiences and people ask me, I give them the budget. So it was just something I was just doing by the side. I didn't see it as a business opportunity.
Okay.
But you know, when a time comes and your mind opens up and you're like, come on, this thing's an opportunity how can I put myself in? Now I do not find joy packaging tours. Like if you call me in and say, then I want to travel, so. Mm-mm. It is not my calling. I worked in a tour operator and I hated that part of packaging tours. Why? I found out that you will package a tour with all your heart for a client. Clients will come back and tell you, can you remove that flight ticket and turn it to that place? And they didn't know that change alone, it can cost you a lot of money and time
Time.
just to change that. And if you're not lucky, you may not find that seat you were asking for. Because the back end in trying to change it. So me, that was not my part. But if you give me a package and you tell me to market it, oh, you would think I've been there before. I would tell you about that place because I've read about it. So I found I was good with the marketing part. I wasn't good with organizing the tours.
Okay.
I really tried to do that, but it wasn't my calling. So I had to find out, okay, I prefer marketing. Let me be marketing to operators in Nigeria. Since they're not that popular, let people
Mm-hmm.
know that we have tour operators in Nigeria that can give you a budget to come to Nigeria or outside Nigeria. So basically, that's how I put myself in all that.
Awesome. Because I think most of the things I have found out about the tourism sector in Nigeria were from you, and then I found Fumi through you. So from both of you, I've learned a lot more than I have learned in the past. So if I have friends that are coming over, I'll be like, you need to go and speak with these two people. They're the people that I know that will tell you what to do to have fun. If I'm going to a place, I am different from you, and I guess that's where the introvert in me comes in. If I go to a place, show me the spa, show me the pool, show me the big side, and I'm fine. But you're
That's
different,
good.
you're more adventurous. So when did you realize that, you know what, this introversion world is not for me, I'm just an extrovert? And when did you finally embrace who you are?
So in university, I think university is where I really found myself. I've always known that I was different. If I enter a room, I'm loud. You must notice me, even if I don't talk. My outfit, my hairstyle, something you must notice me. All right. If I take in a group picture, I must be in front. I mean, like, how would you know that? I was there. You have to see my picture. So I've always known that when I'm somewhere, I stand out. I am even if I want to hide, I can't hide because my extrovertedness will show itself one way or the other. But I was in university that you're laughing at me. I was in university that I read this book,
If
Tim
like,
Halley's
why you
book,
act the way you act?
Lahos book of More Temperament.
Yes.
And when I found out that I was sanguine and a melancholy, but I have more of sanguine in
Sanguine.
me, I fell in love with myself. I said, Nena, I mean, people are dying to be like you, and you're like, not like you who you are. So I was like, no, I love me. I am a life part. I'm a party life person. If I come there, you must notice me. I make you happy. I'm loud. I'm proud. So it was a university that I found out, okay, this is who I am,
Mm,
and I have to embrace it. But I also had to learn that there's some parts of me as a sanguine I need to also learn to manage.
okay.
Like sometimes I found out like I like to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I can be too talking, but I've had to learn the act of listening. So
Okay.
when I find I'm talking too much, shut up my mouth and start asking you questions if you don't talk. So I found I had to learn how to give people the opportunity to ask true,
You
to
have to
talk
show
too.
face.
So it's not just me.
Yeah.
Listen, talk. Yes.
I think what you just said reminded me of a quote that I put up on my Instagram that Miss Evie said. She said that it's the extrovert's job to create room for the introverts to be able to express themselves, and it's the introvert's job to accept
Mm-hmm.
that once that platform has been created for you, embrace it and use it because we are completely different. I will
Yeah.
rather blend in and push you forward. I don't have a problem with the extroverts. I'm like, contrary to what more people feel about extroverts, I love extroverts. I want to get married to an extrovert so that you can go out and leave me at home alone. Go for the adventures with the kids, and I am just inspired, laying down. I'm like, yes, this is the life. I go for my massage. I sit by the poolside. Don't get my hair wet. That's just me. So I am someone that I have also accepted who I am, and I have accepted others for who they are. So I think that's why I thrive with both introverts and extroverts because I realize that we need both in the world. All of us can be in front. If we're taking a picture, I don't mind everybody else showing. I'm like, yes, just give me space. I need my space. As long as you guys, I'm in the frame. Even if you say, oh, were you there? Some people that I went to primary school with do not know my name. That's how come. Were you
Oh,
like as a child when you were in
well,
primary school? How was it as a child? Did everybody know you? Did all your teachers know you?
in fact, I was like one of the most popular girls in class. I mean, if you're talking about popularity, yeah, I was one of them. But like I said, I even when I was young, I was not embracing my sanguineness because like I felt that I was getting too loud sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, because it was inside me, I could not hide it. Right. So you will like I said, even if I don't talk, myself, my hair alone. Today I didn't leave my hair. I did
I was going to
African
talk about
style
your hair
because
later.
I like my
But
African
you
woman.
brought it up twice, so we have to talk because you used. Let's go to. Let me let you finish. Then we'll go to. We'll have that conversation about your hair.
All right. But I was the kind of girl that you will notice me. And I don't mean to say this to be arrogant, but I got a lot of people being jealous of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to learn to manage that because even when I do not say anything, the teachers will pick me. And then you are going to follow us for a competition. I'm not going to be involved in the competition, no, but they will put me there because they knew that I was like laughing party. And it got sometimes I went to an all girls school. You know, we girls sometimes when you now notice one girl is being called all the time, even though she's not the most brilliant girl in class. But every time they're going, they will pick her. Why? Who is she? So I had some of my classmates who took it personal.
Okay.
But it was later on as I grew older, I said, oh, okay, because of my liveliness, of how I can just come somewhere and you don't know me. But the way I'm just with you, you would think that you've known me
But
for like
I am
five,
friend.
10 years. So so it's something that as I've grown older, I'm beginning to learn how to also give other people the opportunity to have that opportunity that people notice me. So if I'm in a group of people, you notice me. But I'll always try to make sure that people next to me too, you notice that person. So I've learned how to stop shining all the light on me,
Mm-hmm.
but also even if you shine it on me, I'll make sure the next person next to me also gets that opportunity. So I don't cultivate that jealousy that you don't see, which later on you now start seeing them giving you attitude. And what did I do to you? And when you notice, because I'm a very lively person. Like my sister said, Nene, you have always been the one that if you want anything, we'll send you to mommy and daddy to talk. I'm the firstborn, no. But my last born will send me to my parents to go and ask for something because I knew how to get my parents
You
opportunity.
said I'm the firstborn.
Nobody's the last one they listen to. But it's so he said me because of she said you're the lively one. You know how to cajole people, go and collect it from mommy or daddy. So yeah, I've learned to embrace that, but also learn to give person next to me the opportunity to shine, or not because I'm the only person. Yeah.
No, awesome. I like that because I think many people have the misconception that extroverts do not do that. That they just want to be the spotlight to be on them all the time. And I think sometimes they are not. They don't do it intentionally, but they have to be intentional of sharing that spotlight because I don't blend in intentionally. I just feel that let me hear from every other person before I express myself. That's just my personality. But your personality is different. But then we what we learned from growing up, our experience is a good teacher. Is this we need to be able to share the spotlight with people. We need to recognize that we are all different, and I think we need to then be intentional about okay, whatever has advantages, has disadvantages. If the disadvantage of me being an extrovert is once the spotlight is on me, I run with it and I forget that it's any other person in the room. But you are now saying, you know what, I take a step further and say, there are other people in this room that you need, there are other great people in this industry that you need to know about. Because when you started talking about this, you spoke about your colleague, Fumi, and that was amazing because you did not necessarily have
Yeah.
to do that. But it's something that you have cultivated an habit of intentionally doing to
Yeah.
ensure that you are sharing the spotlight with that. So that's what I admire about you. And I'm talking about standing out. You went natural before most people went natural.
Yeah,
You were a
girl.
natural
It's 7 years, 8 years rolling now. Eight
natural
years now.
bride.
Yeah, 8 years.
Were you?
Natural bride, baby. If I was my husband, I would already be a natural bride. And I was like, yeah, go boy. I'm natural.
I was going to say, how did you convince him? But he
I
convinced.
didn't convince him. Oh. He's my, in fact, I didn't even have to convince him. I told him I'm doing natural hair. He said, oh, yeah, awesome. Babe, go ahead. I want your natural hair. He's the reason why I'm even still doing it natural. He's like my encourager. That girl, I like the natural hair. If I fix wig, he's like he doesn't even compliment me. But maybe I do my natural hairstyle. I say, that's my lady.
So did you get married to an extrovert?
Oh no,
Because he
my
always referred
husband
to like
is
the
an
introverts.
introvert. Ah,
Anyway, so I'm just like, how is he surviving in the house with this lady? How is he surviving? We need to send him rescue. Just.
he's surviving. You know, he has just well that him say he won't marry me now, so he's surviving. He has no choice.
And your kids, any of your the children, an extrovert.
So my son, did you mean my firstborn? He is me. Like he
Oh,
wants to be around people. He wants to play. He likes to have friends. If he's alone with his sister, he says, "Mommy, I have no friends." Because my daughter, that one, she can be on her own for 2 3 hours and just send you. She's doing her own thing, having her own fun, creating her own world.
that's my
But my
girl.
son wants to be around people.
So, since you understand the
My
struggle,
daughter is her. It's
your
me.
son is you. You understand. You both understand them very well. You're able to cultivate the best in them to make the extrovert feel comfortable in his own skin. Because I think most of the things that they do to people like you that are extroverted is like they kill the character and tell you you talk too much. You get
Mm,
that kind
mm,
of
mm,
negative. How did you overcome
mm.
that from people talking to you like that? Sometimes it may never be necessarily be people in your family that would tell you your family may have accepted you, but outsiders using such words against you. How did you overcome that challenge of growing up as an extrovert?
To be very, very honest with you, DK, I never really had anyone telling me, Nena, you talk too much, and Nena, you're loud, Nena, you're this. Because in a funny way, I seemed to manage to how to use them in a way that I wasn't. It was just later on I started knowing that people were jealous, who were like, oh, this girl, keep quiet. But I never had anyone say it straight to my
Your
face.
face.
The only person that complained about is my husband. He said, girl, calm down now. Your voice is too loud. You're explaining something, you're shouting. I said, I'm sorry, my voice is loud. Get used to it. You're married to me. You're like, yeah. But he's teaching me how to also learn to tame my voice. Because I sing and I sing soprano. And I'm used to when I'm singing, my voice goes high. So even with my speaking, it's loud. But I'm also learning how to, it's not a bad thing, don't get me wrong. But I'm also learning that there are some places I have to go to that I have to learn to reduce my voice because everybody doesn't have to hear me. It's none of their business, right? So it's one of those things. But I've never really had anyone tell me keep quiet, it's too loud. luckily for me, I have parents who encouraged me to express myself.
Okay, awesome.
My mom never said, Nena, you're loud. My mom was the one that would scold and beat you, beat the hell out of you if you misbehave. But she never went saying, Nena, you're loud or you talk too much. She actually encouraged that. So I think if anybody has said it to me outside, probably I did not hear them because my mama says I'm okay. My papa says I'm okay. So who are you? Right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I said, as I grew older, I started learning, Nena, Kim, calm down, lower your voice. The only person here, don't make too much noise. Give people the opportunity to talk to. Don't let all the spotlight be on only you. So that's just basically it, honestly. So with my kids, I try to encourage my son. Right now, as we're here, he's playing music, drumming, shouting. My daughter, I can't even hear her voice. I'm sure the girl is constructing something somewhere. So that's the difference. So I'm also learning as a parent not to kill that in them,
Mm-hmm.
but to encourage it at the same time, train them. So when they grow older, they know how to distribute their character and not let anyone bring them down, but also give opportunity to other people to express themselves.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And I think we've talked about the strengths being introversion having its strengths, extroversion having its strengths. You have the best of both worlds in your family, which is amazing. So you're helping both of them cultivate their gifts in a very, very wonderful way. But most people will say that, um, okay, let me put this question this way. What does being an extrovert mean to you?
Being an extrovert means to me someone who is very expressive, who is ready to just be themselves around people and not care and just enjoy themselves. And I'll use the word loud and proud, right? That's basically what I express. And if I'm like I was watching, I was doing an exercise I got from YouTube, and the woman that was coordinating it, she was coordinating, and I noticed one guy stood out. Everybody was following the woman. The guy was doing his own and dancing and clapping. And, I mean, you must. I just said, see my people, extroverts.
I mean, I'll be like, why are you
And
distracting me? Because I'm like, that boy is distracting me. Our reactions are just
you could
completely
notice,
different.
yeah. So you can notice some people in the group are like, okay, it's all right, calm down. Once people were like, yeah, go Rolly, go Rolly. I was like, oh, now maybe that the noise maker and the cheerleader, you know. So it's good to have people like that, but I've also learned that even when you're like that, don't do it too much. When you do it too much, you start getting irritating.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that gets irritated. So yeah, most sanguines were loud and proud, and
Mm-hmm.
the life of the party. You must notice us. Even when we keep quiet, you will notice us. It's just that. So that's how I would express define an extrovert. What an introvert. I've learned. I think I read this book, Quiet,
Oh
by was
yeah,
this Susan Cain?
you read it. That's awesome.
Yeah, my book club recommended. It was the book of the month for like April, and
Mm-hmm.
it was interesting to see that introverts are actually talkatives. But
Oh,
when you don't give them opportunity to talk, they will not talk. So you think we think you guys are quiet. You are not quiet
I
though.
was going to go to your
But
question because I know you have a mic.
we give it,
We are talkative. It's almost like DK. You like talking. You're not an introvert. I was like, really? Put me in. I just said, I come to your house. What do I do? She said, you keep quiet until we get to the room, and then you like talk my ears out. And I'm like, this girl. He said, no, keep quiet. I want to rest. And I'm like, hey, and I have one gist about this, and I bring the gist from east, west, north, south. But then when we're with other people, I'll just be quiet. And she's like, and then there was a situation. Someone
like,
met me, and it was like, oh, I met Dicky,
mm-hmm.
such a quiet girl, and the guy, his friends were like, really, you and DK are friends, and she's quiet. DK doesn't like you. I was like, how dare we even tell somebody something that they say?
You like,
So if DK is
it's not that introverts
comfortable
don't
with
like
you,
you. It's if you don't
and
give,
yes.
yes, like my husband name. Bring 120 people here. The dude will not say a word. But when you give my husband a platform to talk, everybody keeps quiet to listen to him. Like, oh my god, this guy is making sense. And I'll just be smiling. I give people the. But if you don't give him a platform, my husband will just keep quiet looking at you. You think he's so quiet guy that doesn't talk.
We
So
stop
let him start. Because when he
learning
starts,
from you.
ooh, let him talk.
And you know, for me, most of the TV hosts I like, the personalities are extroverts. I like Wendy Williams because when she's
Really?
talking, I love the way she talks. I love Tasha K because when she's giving you the gist, she's
Uh,
giving you hot and fresh. Tamar Braxton as extra character. So I'm like, why am I not drawn to the quiet Tamira over there? I'm like, no, I'm not drawn to. We're the same. Let me look at the others and learn from them. But it's true. I think sometimes people
put it
we
apart.
misunderstand each other. I think that's why I wanted to bring you on board because we completely misunderstand each other. And I think if we understand each other a bit more, we'll be able to thrive together. Because yes, we have to accept you have to accept the other person for who they are, first of all. You truly try to change. Some people meet me and try and change me, and I'm like, look, you met me this way.
No,
It is who I am. Does that
you can't.
happen to you? Do you meet some people that'll be like, oh, I think you should be. Does that happen to you also?
So yes, I had that issue when I was working. So something happened. So a colleague of mine was leaving the office, and they wanted me to take over her seat because she was going to go and do her masters. So they wanted me to take over her job while she was gone. And I got people when she left. Apparently, she had had some characteristic issues with some people. So they were afraid, this girl that was being mentored by her, I'll be like her. So the first time I came, my friend started, people were saying, Nana, you're too loud. Okay, I think this was my office. Yeah, so it's my office. I learned that they said, Nana, you're too excited. Calm down, calm down. You're doing an important job, so you don't have to be very friendly. You don't have to be very excited. Calm down, calm down. DK, I tried to calm down. Oh. I calm down. Nana, you're too calm. You're too calm. What's wrong with you? Are you okay? You're not right now. Then I said, people are not okay. Oh. People are not okay because I'm a small girl in your eyes. People think and when I sat down, it was a serious matter because it got me confused. Like, is that not what is wrong with me? I
Uh,
sat down one day. I said, Nana, be yourself. If you don't like it, they can go to
as long
blasting.
as you're being
I started becoming
professional,
myself. And
be
I
yourself.
I was being professional. I was being myself. I was doing
Exactly.
my job. And I found that the owner of the company said, loved my vibrant, happy, go-lucky, loud. Because if he comes to the office, I'm the one making noise. And the guy got used to my, like, I said, what does he say? Then I come, I said, oh, guy's not complaining. Is he complaining? You guys better get used to my loudness. I'm like, I'm not gonna make people like, oh my gosh, has come again. But guess what? When I left the office, they started missing my noise. They said, Nena, we miss your noise.
Are
Oh,
you
nobody
serious?
to make noise in the office. No one to bring that. I said, oh, so you guys now value me, Abby. I was
Okay,
like,
I'm gone.
okay.
Now I get that. So some people be
For
like,
1 year,
you're too
nobody to
quiet.
make noise. We don't want to. Don't want
Some
to
people
do.
I go through that. Some people say you're too quiet. You're too quiet. You're too quiet. I'm like, okay, you need to talk more. I'm like, if I have something to say, I say it, and I say it with my chest. I don't
Yeah,
hide it. I will say what I have to say. And so, because some people, when they start to say, so you talk, I have a voice. God gave me a voice. Of course, I talk. What do you mean by so I talk? Sometimes I get pissed. I'm like, what do you mean by so I talk? I have a voice for crying out loud. But I talk. And we get that thing where people want us to, when we're trying to
um,
fit into what other people want us to be, we tend to lose ourselves completely.
yeah,
And that happens. So I'm
yes,
sometimes when I'm with some
yeah,
people, I'm trying to be extroverted, I'm trying to be extra. But when I'm with some people, I just am myself completely. The day I want to be quiet, they
yeah,
let me be because I understand that what fires me up doesn't really fire you up. And I'll explain what I mean by what fires me up. For me to be able to get work done, I don't need lots of people. I need to have my solitude. What fires me up is what makes me the best version of me. So I am comfortable thinking before I act, and thinking in a quiet place helps me thrive better. That may be different from someone else. In order to function, I don't need, like you said, your daughter is calm and she's building. Your son is beating his drum, and but he's also being creative. So they are both being creative in different ways. So as an extrovert, what fires you up?
what fires me up is having people around me. I get energy with drive. No, seriously. I have my moments. Like I said, I'm a melancholy too. So I have
And it
times
was
when I just want to
felt when
be
you
alone.
said you were in melancholy. I was like, I don't see any male in you.
Oh yeah. Oh, you will not see it. If you come to my house, you will see it. Everything is organized. My tables are well kept. I don't like to see dirt around the place. I am such an organized person that if I enter the room, I can see every speck and dirt. I mean, I can notice it. I have times when I just want to be alone. I just want to be left alone. As sandwiched as I am, I love my me time. Leave me alone. When I'm done, I can come out and make my noise and shout, yay! But when it's time for my me time, I don't want any husband. I don't want any children. I don't want any brother. Don't leave me alone.
Okay,
Yes, girl.
this is interesting.
So you see, people don't see that part of me. So when I'm quiet, my friends are like, Nena, what's wrong? Are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I'm in my melancholy moment right now.
It's allowed,
So
and because
I've
you
learned
know
to,
yourself, and this is the importance of knowing yourself. You know yourself so well that you
yes,
understand that sometimes I need
yes,
me time, and this makes me function better. But if you didn't know yourself, you'll be
yes.
trying to be the extroverted person all the time, so that everybody sees that you're always the life of the party. But even the life of the party needs to quench sometimes. You
Being
need
an
that.
extrovert, it's it's a lot of energy to be life of the party. So we need times where we can go back and refuel.
It's
So that's why
of that.
I'm glad that I found that for myself. Exactly. So you just so for me, I thrive in, like, now if I'm doing exercise, I like to see things around me. I like the trees, the people that are working and they're doing their own things together and putting it together. So it's like that energy from other people, it fuels me. It makes me excited. So I'm more like a collaborator. If you see, I want to do something. I'm not thinking about just myself. I want the energy from A, B, C to come together and let it thrive. So that's where my energy goes. But there are times that like I said, my melancholy will come in and I'm like, I want to be myself. I want to do it alone.
Mm.
But that doesn't happen often. It happens once in a while.
And I am the opposite. Once in a while, I want the energy from others, but I try 90% of the time on my own. I don't like the gym because I have to look east, west, north, south, and I'm like, you're distracting, you're too much, you're too much. I don't like the gym. But sometimes I try with an exercise class, which was the most shocking part of my when I went for we went for a couple of days and it was supposed to be kind of a retreat, and everyone was shocked that the exercises I did the best were the ones I had to run and move around and move from one spot to the other. As everybody was just looking at me like this because I had been
Yeah.
quiet all through, and then when I got there, I played basketball, I did this, and I don't know how to play any sports. So I was playing rubbish, but I was
Yeah.
having fun. And
Mhm.
everybody, people my team were like, "No, this is not what to do." I'm like, "Let's go." I have game spirit. Was what I kept saying. I have this. What game spirit kill you, dear? What kind of useless game spirit are you having? And then, as long as we're having fun, me, I was just having fun. But once in a while, I realized that I
Yeah.
thrive like that. But I would rather do certain things on my own. I've realized that most sometimes we are not
Yeah.
100% extroverts or 100% introverts. We have times where
Yeah.
we go to the other side, and
Time for both of them.
but it's just a ability to accept yourself, embrace both sides, and see what you can get from them. So let's talk a little bit about your passion for personal development. Why are you so
Mm.
passionate about personal development and improving yourself and just being the best version of yourself? You mentioned being in a book club. I smiled. I know we reconnected because of vision boards. We're now part of a mastermind. So I know that we are kindred spirits when it comes to that. Why are you passionate about personal development?
Okay, so growing up, I've never been like the most brightest child. I know what I mean, most brightest child. Maybe out of 20 people, probably out of 20 people, I can be number 10 or number 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out what made me really try growing up was my skills. So I can sing, I can paint, I can draw. I'm the creative. I'm very creative and all that. But I found that if I did not develop this creativity that I had, I'll just be I'll just be hanging.
Mm-hmm.
And entering into the entrepreneurship journey, I found that if you don't keep developing yourself, you become irrelevant, no matter how talented you are.
Mm-hmm.
And one way I found that I don't like reading now. So reading is not one of my hobbies.
Really?
If the book doesn't have color, yep. If it doesn't have colors and pictures, I ain't reading it, girl. Unless you force me to read that book.
And you're like,
So
my book for
I
the month.
bless
I've almost
God.
finished my book for the month. I've read 2 books this month. Young lady, this is the shocker of it.
Wait, so let me.
This is shocking.
I'm not finished telling you my story. So when I was younger, my mom used to force my siblings and I to read a book every week. And if you don't read that book and finish and tell her what you learned, we're ready for her to beat the living daylight out of you. So I thank God to my mom for training that. But as I grew older, you can't force me to read, Abby. I'm not a big girl, like do what I want to do. I'm in boarding school. I only read for school. So I stopped that reading because there's no one to force me to do that. As I grew older, I started reading more of like Mills and Boons, romance books, something that was not helping your brain, just for reading for entertainment part. You're shaking your head. Then I entered university. The only thing I was reading was school books. Now, what really encouraged me to start reading books? I saw myself like, okay, Nena, you're trying to grow as an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Going to school is not just the only thing you need in your life. You need to read books that make you think. And because I was thinking that way, I started seeing so many things. If you want to be a true leader, you need to know how to read books that will develop your mind,
Yeah.
that will develop your personality,
Yeah.
that will develop how you want to be viewed and seen by people. And before I know it, because of the kind of people that I'm also connecting myself with, so like Falakemi in my life, so like you have so like Falakemi, like you will read by phone. So people like that like to read and who are enterprising. So I started surrounding myself with people like that. And I found out what made them really stand out was that they are reading. And they're not just reading any book. They're reading books that give them quality. So 2018, I told myself, Nena, you're going to start reading. You finish one book in a month. But I knew I couldn't do it on my own. So I went searching for books, people that sell books so I can buy from them. So one person recommended that one of the guys I wanted to buy a book from said, are you in a book club? I'm like, nah, if I join a book club, I will be pushing them backwards. They will not finish reading one book. And he laughed and said, no, instead, the book club will make you finish reading your book because you have people reading with you. That's how I said, okay, oh, recommend book club, make I join. Person that gave me this book club, I'm in. And lo and behold, I read, because I joined that book club, and because I was being inspired to read every month and finish the book so that I could join the hangout every month, I found myself finishing one. So by that was 2019. By 2019, I read like in a year, I read 13 books and I finished 10. And I told myself, girl, if you can do this now, and I found my vocabularies were changing. I found that the way I'm thinking had changed. In fact, my mindset had changed in a year. And I was like, oh my gosh, what have I been missing here?
Hmm.
So it's not just about signing up for online courses and going to all these trainings.
Yes.
Read books that will help. Like as of today, I've read 13 books. I'm like, wow, that was what I did last year. So this year, I'm not even done with the year. I've read 10 books. And thanks to audiobooks,
Yes.
thanks
Within your connection.
to um, e-books.
Hello, Nena. Oh my goodness.
Way easier for me. And I find
Okay, you're back. You're back. Hello?
now.
Okay, we're talking about
Yep.
books.
Yeah.
That the book club inspired you to read, and then, so do you prefer reading audiobooks or physical books?
Um, but I'm still a fan of hard copy books.
Hard copy books. Awesome. And okay, so let me just ask you a few last questions before we end today's, because we've gone we had a very wonderful conversation. In moments of self doubt and adversity, how do you build yourself back up? Because to me, Nina is always full of energy. She doesn't have issues with self doubt and adversity. But if in moments of self adversity, how do you build yourself back up? Like, yes, how do you do that?
First and foremost, I sit down and I cry my eyes out.
Really?
After crying my eyes out, I say, yeah, I cry my eyes out. Crying is
I
very
wish
therapeutic
I
for
cry like
me.
that. You know, see how happy I
So,
am for you because I don't cry. If I cry, I have to call my sister and say I
please
am
cry.
crying. I'm serious. I'm like, I'm crying. And she's like, yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you.
So I cry my eyes out. After crying, I talk to myself. I say, okay, then now you are finished crying. Now what do you do next? Oh yeah, get up, dust yourself. And I always tell myself this thing. Nena, whatever you're going through now, someone is going through worse thing than you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you finish crying and feeling sorry for yourself, better get up, dust yourself up, and do what you need to do. So first, I like to cry. I cry, and after crying, I talk to myself. And sometimes, depending on what the issue is, there's on my for my confidence confidentiality people. I don't know what I want to use it, but people that I know I can call and they will talk to me and reassure me, and sometimes scold me when they need to.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, but main thing is that I cry and I talk to myself,
Oh,
because the truth is that life is full of so many things, and if you, for me as an extrovert, if I bottle it all up, you will see it in my face. I can't hide. I mean, if I'm angry, it shows on my face. If I'm sad, it shows on my face. I'm really trying emotional intelligence these days because I'm trying to learn how to manage my facial expression. It's one of my biggest problems. I can't hide. It has put me in trouble so many times. So I've
oh,
had to learn to try and conceal. Oh yes, there's a time I had an issue with one of my managers. He said I was rude. And I gave her one face like, man, I'm not rude to you. She said, see, look at your face. You can't even hide it. Look at how rude you are.
the way you said that, man, not
I
rude
told,
to you.
I,
No, the way you even just said that years later, the way you just said, "Ma, I'm not rude to you." Even now, you cannot hide it. You're like, "Ma, I'm not rude to you. I'm just telling you as it is." We're both
I'm
human.
just telling you.
Oh my
So I've
goodness.
had to learn that, right? Emotional intelligence. Not that I'm trying to pretend, but I need to try and ensure that I don't give away sometimes what I feel inside, so I don't get myself into trouble. So that's basically what I do for myself.
Awesome. I like that. Um, okay, so what has your biggest challenge been in the tourism sector?
Oh, trying to stay relevant.
Okay.
That's one of my biggest challenge. And let me explain why. Because I don't offer tangible products like tour packages or travel essentials, I have stood out in a different, in a very unique way. I do more like marketing and hold conferences and events that talk about tourism. So I have a tangible product.
Mm-hmm.
It has been a challenge to stay relevant, all right, in the
Okay.
space. So when you see me working with people like Go Get Africa, people like this new association that I just joined, TCF, I'm trying to find a way I could be of relevance to people in the travel space, not just with the tangible products, but intangible, like training, environment, personal development. Because the truth is that as much as we are in the tourism space and people are doing stuff, a lot of people don't really are not doing the right thing. And that's why the tourism space in Nigeria has not been thriving the way it should. A lot of people are not doing a lot of trainings because they feel I've been in this industry for a long time. I don't need to be trained. And things are changing, like
Things are
the
changing.
digital space. A lot of them don't know how to use the digital space, you know? So some of those little tangible stuff, I've tried to find myself, put myself in a way that I'm relevant in the tourism space.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been a challenge. But luckily for me, the things I'm doing is putting me in the faces of the right people who are actually like shakers and movers of the tourism space.
Awesome.
So they're seeing that okay, but yeah, that has really been the problem, staying relevant to the tourism space.
Awesome. I like that. And I know now this will go into the tourism sector in Nigeria. And I'm just going to ask you a simple question. If you could make changes to the tourism sector in Nigeria, what changes would you make?
That we should all work together as a team. Everybody's working in silos, and though thanks to COVID-19, see that we all need to work together as a team. And for the past 3, 4 months, a lot of us have been hosting webinars, conferences, trying to talk about how we can move forward after the COVID-19, because COVID-19 really hit the tourism and travel space really, really hard because people are not traveling, people are not doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if we can all work together as a team, we have too many associations, too many, and most of us are not even working together as a team. That is why we can have round square pegs and round holes in the ministry. Tourism minister is not a tourism person. Anyone that's doing something that has to do with culture, they don't really know any of these things because the right people are not there. So for me, it's for us to work together as a team so we can have the right people in the leadership spheres, in the politics and associations that need to drive force of unity and working together. So that's basically what I would like to change.
Awesome. I like that. Um, because I think having that, do you think the government should be involved also? For example, the way Hawaii and certain countries have been created and developed and packaged under tourism, do you think the government needs to be a bit more intentional about this, or we should be left to the
Yes, the gov see whatever thing we're doing in the economy, whatever is going to help an economy, which tourism is, it provides 10 out of, if I don't know how to put this, but we need governments, whether we like it or not, because we need the good roads, the electricity, the things that makes tourism thrive.
yeah.
And who will provide this is the government, the good roads, the security, the trainings that people need, so that the right people will be put in the tourism, in the political, how do I put one, in the political space. We need the right people there, and unfortunately, we don't have that right now. But we need the government to be able to train and put the right people there, provide the amenities that we need to make tourism thrive. So we can never push government away,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, make them see the value of the tourism space. If we do not do our job to show them the value, then they will never take it serious. That's why we're still where we are today in
Okay.
the tourism industry in Nigeria.
Awesome.
That's
I like that because if we don't take it serious, we don't expect them to take it serious. I think my only issue with it getting a little bit political is party changes, and I wish there was a federal government part that was not party affiliated, that was just dedicated to tourism, and it could
mm,
be influenced at all. We are committing a certain amount to the tourism industry in the country, and no
mm,
matter what, we have a 20-year plan. We are like doing this. Even if power changes, and it's still the plan we are going for. I wish that's what.
no, we actually do have a master plan. We have it. We do have, but like you said, because of the politics and the power, and everybody is doing, oh, this is PDP, this is APC, this is CAC kind of issue. It's us that did it. So until that issue stops, it's a big issue that we're trying to sort out right now for the tourism space.
Very big one. Okay, so let's ask you a couple of travel questions. But before I do that, I think you're not alone with the facial expression. Messi says, they do say we black people do not have a poker face. Our mouth can say one thing, but our face will give how we really feel about something inside. Because that just shows you that this poker face you're trying to get, you may have to work harder and harder and harder
Yeah,
because you are not alone in it at all. I think we all face the same problem.
yeah.
I'm fine. I'm like, mm. All right, let's do a rapid fire question. What's your favorite airport in the world?
Okay.
Favorite airport?
Ah, well, for now, because I've not really been to much Dubai, I like how the structure is, how they've made life easy for you. So even if you go there and you don't know Dubai very well, their airports alone, the directions they'll show you, you will never get lost. At least me, I've experienced it. So for now, my favorite is Dubai airport.
Okay, favorite destination in West Africa?
In West Africa, uh, Ghana. I'll say Ghana because they're quite peaceful, quite organized. I really like how their
The
tourism,
way they
how
took
they are
that
taking their
young
tourism very
joint
serious.
and ran with it, it's been amazing. They got so much invest. Let's not
Yep,
talk about
I'm
them
very,
at this point
very,
in time. But it's been
very
amazing what they've done with their sector. Really, I wish we could just take 10% of what they've done, and if and we'll go places. East African country.
Kenya. Kenya is beautiful. I've been there 3 times, but I've never really gotten the opportunity to explore because I'm always there for maybe one job or family thing that I never had. But the few times I've been there, it's been amazing. The few experiences. I'm looking forward to going back to Kenya again and exploring from my heart out. I'll do all the bungee jumping, all the zip lining, all the safari, everything. I mean, see, no, if you're like adrenaline junkie like me,
I'm
Kenya
ready
is
to
the
take
best
your
place to go.
pictures. No, I want to, like, I'm sorry if I go for a party and everybody's up dancing. I'm like, you need someone to watch over the bags. I am here. You need someone to take pictures. This is me. I do not pay to get myself scared. So when people are going to Top Park and all these places, I don't pay to get myself scared. I'm going to the spa. I'm sorry. Can you stay in the spa every day? Yes, you can have a massage every day. It's relaxing.
After jumping, I'll go for massage. After I finish
Hey, come on.
jumping and
Yeah,
everything,
don't
yeah,
worry.
I'll
We'll be
go for
waiting for you. We'll save space for you. We'll wait for you there. Honestly, prepare the mat. She's coming. No, she's a very tough one. That's how we give them time.
massage.
It's just amazing that we are all so different, but we all celebrate each other's strengths and understand that we can all
Yeah,
thrive together in the world. And that's one thing I love about you. You understand that introverts and extroverts can thrive. Collaboration is the order of the day. We need to collaborate more because we can bounce off each other's energy.
say that again.
Collaboration is the order.
Say that again. Collaboration was bam, bam. I'm a sucker for collaboration, so I love that.
No,
Thank you.
I believe in cooperation. I mean, collaboration over competition or cooperation over competition, because
Oh, yeah.
when we try to
Yep.
compete with each other, we do not understand that a standard has been set and we're trying to beat that standard. We're not fighting against each other. You work in the same sector,
Exactly.
but we have different approaches. So my approach is more laid back, soft. And then I was talking to an extrovert I think to Brandy, and he's like, "Oh, you have to go this," and I'm like, I understand. You have a very hard approach. I have a soft approach. But
Yeah.
like, what do you mean by I have an hard approach? And I'm like, it's the truth. Our approaches are different, but we have the same result.
Yeah.
So your people will be drawn to you. My people
Mm-hmm.
will be drawn to me. I don't need to speak negatively about the way you get things done. You don't need to do the same thing with me. And I think I really love the fact that you've embraced who you are. You've gotten featured in Forbes for your. I think we should end with that. How did you get featured in Forbes, young lady? Hmm? Did you write to them or did they write to you?
Oh my Lord. I did. So I love collecting postcards. One of my hobbies is collecting postcards, stamps, banknotes, and coins. I mean, I love that. So my daddy used to do that a lot. So I took that hobby from my dad. So when he died, I inherited most of his coins, his banknotes, and all that. For postcards, there's a platform that I joined that I send. We don't know, but we send each other postcards from different parts of the
So
world.
you've sent me a
So
postcard
I
once.
found that
I
this was a hobby
remember.
that I like. I've sent you a postcard before, yeah. So during so there's something called Social Media Week Lagos, where you talk about different things. People from different industries talk about things they like. So I was fortunate to get a platform to do something on tourism and on postcard. So twice I'd done it, and I put it up on my blog. I shared it on Instagram. People try to know that on my bio I put I'm a collector of banknotes, so it's just there. So one day I posted something about my kids on Instagram, and then somebody came and put a message on the post that she's from Forbes Africa, that she wants me to please send her an email. They want to feature me. I thought it was a scam. You know how people just put things on your posts anyhow. I honestly thought it was a scam. I ignored her. I totally ignored her. I posted something again. She went to that post and put it there. Said, please, I would like to from Forbes Africa. I'd like to feature you. Send me an email. I said, who is this person? I sure went to check her out on Instagram, check her profile. She kind of looked legit. I went to Facebook to check her too. She looked legit. In fact, I went everywhere to look for her to be very sure she was real. I said, I mean, you cannot be scamming
I
me.
don't
Me,
see
Forbes Africa.
way.
Wow, interesting. I sent her an email. I finally sent her an email after she had sent it like twice. Apparently, she sent me an email on Facebook and on LinkedIn. That's how
Oh,
she was looking for me. So I did not see her message. So that's why she came to Instagram to look for me.
that's where we thrive. Instagram.
So by the time we went back and forth, by the time we went back and forth, it was actually legit. They sent me a form to fill and all that. 4 months, I did not say anything. I just kept quiet. Maybe it's not true. Maybe they just wanted to use me for something. But like after 3 4 months, I actually found myself. They actually told me to come and collect my copy of Forbes Africa and everything. So after that, I sent an email. Said, if I may please ask you, how did you find me? She laughed. She said, Google. She just Googled me, and my name was among those people that were collectors in Africa. So it was my blog she saw about my social media
Oh,
week Lagos. She checked my Instagram and saw that I put I'm a postcard collector.
mm-hmm.
In fact, I was just visible everywhere. And I put it out there that I'm a proud collector of postcards and banknotes. And that's how I got featured. She just found me on Google.
That's awesome. I think that is a lesson on visibility, on brand visibility. You have to sell your,
Yeah.
you have to tell your story on your own terms, even if you think no one is listening. Because sometimes we are modest, we want to keep
Yeah.
things to ourselves. Like you said, you had no idea that I was so interested with content creation and stuff. And I'm like, how would you know? But it's not something I blog about. It's not something I talk about.
Yeah.
It's something that a couple of people know.
You don't talk about it.
Okay, so now I'm going to start talking about it and blogging about it. Also, I've already decided. So my sorry, what did you say?
I will talk on your behalf. If you don't talk, anyone that comes to me, I said I will talk on your behalf.
I think
Anyone that comes to me and asking for
I
a
just feel
content person,
I tell people
from
to
DK,
do
take
it.
to her.
No, I tell people to do it. You know, that's the funny thing. Many was telling me, I can see where you started getting serious with your brand. I tell people to get serious with your brands. Be this, be that. You have you if you're not telling your story, who will tell your story for you? But I'm not telling my own story because I'm busy telling every other person's story but mine. So I'm like, you know what? This is the year of branding me. I'm going to start the Introverts Guide
Yeah,
podcast because that gives me a voice out there. It's a content creation podcast talking about how different
yeah,
people are creating content and thriving in the world. But it's not just say, oh, this is what I
yeah.
post, but rather telling their stories of how they got to where they got to. Because your influence is social media week. How did you even get to social media week? Let's talk about that before we conclude.
My darling, I just filled a form. Oh, they sent us form, and I filled form, and I filled it with my whole heart. Gave my friends to help me go through the form. In fact, I went through a lot of scrutiny, and I was just fortunate to get that slot. I mean, I've done it 3 times now, 3 times since
That's all.
2018, 20, and it's just been amazing. My pictures have been amazing to the glory of God. Let me use it that way. So that's why how I've gotten that feature on social media with
No, awesome.
Lagos.
Your features on social media week, I wasn't surprised at all. I was like, this is no seriously because it's about time that we start being proud of what we do. We're passionate about it. We need to get on platforms
Yeah.
that are outside our circle of influence. A message just sent me a message. I just removed it from the comments. She said, "DK, I hope you are hearing because we have been telling you for ages." I mean, see, listen, all of you need to start singing this. I don't. I'm not saying more than what
That is
I have said.
what me.
Wait a second. I did not know you need Instagram to Yellow Paper Club. I was like, where have you been when I'm always talking about content? I always talk about content creation. I did DIY brand in 2016, but like I said, since overshadowed it and I was focusing on other things. But I think what's one lesson I have learned from you is not to be afraid to blow your own trumpet. I think that's amazing where you are able to
Yep.
say, this is what I do, this is who I am, and I am proud of it. Accept it, don't accept it. I have accepted it, that's fine by me. And once you've accepted yourself, other people tend to follow suit because it's you are a very, very good representation of this. So what projects are you working on now with COVID-19? You talked about how it really, really impacted the tourism industry. How are you reinventing yourself?
All right. So like I said, I don't do tangible products, but I work with people that do the tangible products. But unfortunately, because we're not traveling, people are trying to like pivots, not like leave tourism, but do something else that can one way or the other help people. So with all I've gone through in building my business in the last 3 years, I decided that okay, I have a business coach who I've been using for almost 3 years now, and I decided to go fully with him this year. And he was advising that you need to pivot a bit, but not that you're leaving the tourism space, but do something that can benefit other people that are not in the tourism space.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm doing an running a workshop, more like a challenge program for those who want to build visibility for their brand. So, for my experience, my Forbes Africa experience, how I was able to get that, my social media week experience, how I was able to get that. So, I'm doing a challenge called Build Your Brand Challenge, where I'm helping small businesses who want to create visibility for their brand and attract their ideal audience. So, right now, that's what I'm running. And with
Mm-hmm.
that, anyone that does that challenge, I inform them about my workshop. So I have a workshop where I'm teaching you the things you need to do, how to build your brand, how to create visibility, and how to build content. Thanks to people like DK who have taught me what I need to do to build my content. She's on her face. Look at her. So basically, I'm doing things. I'm helping small businesses who are within 1 to 3 years who are looking for how to be out there in the face of their ideal audience end up becoming their clients and maybe even their customers and just help them build their brand basically. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Awesome, that's great. I love the fact that you keep reinventing yourself. You keep trying your best to say, you know what, one door has shut, 20 doors are.
Sorry, I forgot one thing. I forgot one more thing. Yeah, so I'm also doing a virtual summit. It's an online
Yes.
conference,
Hey.
but I'm targeting the tourism space. So in the tourism space, most people don't know how to use the digital platforms to build their business.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why even though I'm doing this build your brand for small businesses, I'm also still targeting my tourism and travel people because they have packages, they have those tangible programs, but people don't know that they have them.
Mm-hmm.
If the people know, they don't have to keep these clients. So with the tourism virtual summit, I'm getting people in the tourism space and not in the tourism space to teach people how to use digital platforms.
Awesome.
DK is one of my people. He's actually being featured there. So people about Instagram. Instagram is her house.
I
So I
love,
want people to know
I
how to use
breathe
Instagram to tag
Instagram.
their yes.
But I'm trying to come on YouTube a little bit more to talk all about content creation because I think at the end of the day, it's all content, whatever platform we are on. But Nene Fakoya-Smith, thank you so much for coming on board today. I had an amazing conversation with you. See, we thrived, we worked together, we bounced off each other's energy, and you have so much positive energy. I think you've made me understand extroverts a little bit more, and you've made me embrace them much more than I've always done because I have embraced the extroverts since because somebody asked me the life of the party and I'm looking for the life of the party to go, oh yeah, go and be the life. That is it. You cannot be quiet. Please do your job so that I can be quiet over here and just be looking at all of you. That's just how I roll. So it's a selfish reason, but it's a good one. Trust me. It's a good one. But it's been wonderful speaking with you today. Do you think is there anything you think I left out that I should have talked about? You have like 1 to 2 minutes to just tell us where we can find you and
Nothing. Where you can find me. One, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Ajala Nene, Ajala Nene. Then on Facebook, my name is Nnenna Fakoya-Smith. You can find me there. And on LinkedIn, Nnenna Fakoya-Smith. So I'm trying to be more visible with these four platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So you can find me there.
do you
Then my website is www.nene-uwa uwa.com. You can find me from there.
awesome. I was going to say, do you have a space of real estate online, which is what I call your website? So awesome. It's been wonderful chatting with you, Nena. I'm going to let you go now, but thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for coming on board today. The links to everything she has said are all her handles. I've put them in the description bar. So reach out to her, say hello to our extrovert, and thank her for coming on board this introverts platform. Because when I said, oh, I'm going to invite you, she said, but I'm an extrovert. I was like, extroverts are welcome. So this was our very first edition of Extroverts Are Welcome to show that we embrace everybody. We're giving introverts perspective, but the world has to be balanced. And that's why we got you on board. Thank you so much for coming on board today. You just finished our very first episode of Extroverts Are Welcome, and we hope you will come back to say hello to us soon. All right,
By God's
everyone.
grace.
I am DK Jonah, and today we've spoken with the first extroverts. We've had an amazing conversation. We look forward to having you all come on board one way or the other. So I know I'm a YouTuber now, so I have to say this. Please like, subscribe, comment, turn on the click the notification bar, and turn on notifications so you know when we release new episodes. I'm going to be promoting more of the episodes more often than I do. This was a test run, so this is the last recording we have for the test run. It's done well. She's because she has told me it's not a test run. She said, "DK, stop saying it's a test run. It's no longer a test run." So it's been wonderful having all of you on board with me. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll be back in August for another episode. Stay tuned. Cheers. Bye.